This is the New York City FC Pregame Live. Tonight, New York City look for their 5th straight win as they host the San Jose Earthquakes. And now, here are your hosts, Glenn Crooks and Matty Lawrence.
What a beautiful night in the Bronx, everybody. Hi, I'm Glenn Crooks, and here's the great Matty Lawrence. We will have the live commentary for the New York City Football Club playing host to the San Jose Earthquakes here in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. That will be kicking off at 7:40, but we'll have our pregame live here. Then we'll go right into our pregame show for the live commentary with a featured interview with Nick Cushing, the head coach for New York City FC. And we're available on all kinds of things tonight, not just the New York City FC network, but also Sirius XM-FC, Channel 157, and the Apple TV app, MLS Season Pass. So, Matty, it's almost like they won't be able to avoid us tonight.
No, am I getting paid 3 times, though? That's the thing. Normally I get paid peanuts or pistachio nuts or something like that. What am I going to get paid today? I'm on triple time, am I?
I think we'll figure it out. You know what? I had the calculator out, and
Brilliant.
I was unable to. Well, it was because the reason I didn't focus on it, and before we get into this, and New York City trying to tie a club record tonight with their 5th consecutive victory. It's been going that well for them. It's been going so well that they played poorly a week ago, as their manager told us, and still came away with a win with the late Keaton Parks goal from Tavon Gray up at New England. But you know, everybody has pet peeves, right? And I'm just, it just hit me today. Now, I'm also privileged. I can be part of a gym in my town, and they have a sauna. I'm also privileged that I've played golf since I was 8 years old. I like playing golf, right? So I get out and play golf. And I like hamburgers. So that's these are my pet peeves.
That's the triumvirate right there. Golf, sauna, hamburgers.
So, sauna and golf, like a golf course, and then a sauna where it's the endorphins, the serotonin. I like peace, and I'm saying all this in the words of Ringo with a message of peace and love. The sauna. So I'm in the sauna today after a workout, Matty. There's 2 guys in the sauna with their phones, and they're talking on their phones. They're taking phone calls in the sauna. This is a sauna that holds like 8 people, right? 8 to 10 maybe people. There's another dude who's got his like Facebook up or something, and he's playing all this music and stuff that's coming through on his Facebook. So my urgent message is sauna is a place for reflection, for meditation. I get a lot of good show ideas when I'm sitting in the sauna. So please don't bring your and then there's another dude. He's kind of a regular. He comes in and he just starts talking. I don't want to talk in the sauna. Okay. Now, the golf course thing is probably even more annoying because I don't know what's happened over the years, but people all of a sudden are bringing music to the course.
Yeah, that can't happen.
And they don't even ask you. Like if you're a twosome and they pair you up with these 2 dudes and they're blasting. And you know what? If they're playing Return to Forever, Gentle Giant, Al Di Meola,
okay, so they
Charlie
can play
the Bird
music
Parker.
as long as it's what you want.
No, as long as it's good music. I don't want to hear Boston or AC/DC on the golf course. I'm sorry. So that is rude, man. But it's called. Now I went to a golf course last year, and they had built-in Bluetooth speakers on their carts, and I went to the guys after. I said, "You can't do this. You're encouraging it." Anyway,
is there a game of football today or not?
No. And finally, and my family and some close friends will get a kick out of this one. Why, when you order a hamburger at a lot of establishments, do you get a cheeseburger? I didn't order a cheese. I ordered a
hamburger is without cheese. A cheeseburger is with
that's right.
cheese.
Or I order a hamburger
with extra cheese.
Or I order a hamburger and they go, "Would you like cheese?" I said, "No, I want a hamburger." For some reason, this is annoying for me.
Well, we've just put the kickoff time back to 8:35.
All right, we can get to the soccer now, but those are they're just just little things. But please, oh my gosh, I just like those quiet places.
It doesn't seem that they're little things. It seems that they're
in our lives we don't always have those quiet places we can go to, and then burger. Okay, So New York City, this has been very interesting because before that homestand started back in April, right, with Atlanta United, and it was a 1-1 draw, and then some wins after that, New York City was in 13th place. They're now in third in the table, and a win tonight moves them to within 4 points of second place Cincinnati and 5 points of the Supporter Shield leaders, Inter Miami, right? And New York City has a game in hand on Miami. Now, San Jose, they've struggled this year, but they are 2-2-2 in their last 6. But 0-5-1 in this series, Matty.
Yeah.
And these two haven't played in the regular season since 2022. And San Jose here in the 5 boroughs, they are 0-4. They have not been able to win a game. But they did play this year, Matty, and I just want to show you a really brief clip. This was at the Coachella Invitational. I actually did the live stream broadcast of this game back to the supporters here and whoever else wanted to watch it. So this is not about my commentary. This is about Malachi Jones making his New York City debut. And Alfredo Morales, a former New York City player, is now a midfielder for San Jose. And this is what I don't know if I've played this for you before, but this is what Malachi Jones. Here he is now on the ball. Now you see it's fairly late in the game. It ends up 2-2. Here's Jones. There's Alfredo Morales closing him down. Watch this. Boom! Dragged down from behind. It was a yellow card at a free kick.
Tavon Gray, wonderful service.
Well, I didn't want that yet.
No.
But
save the best till last.
Yes. So Malachi Jones, that was his initiation, and Alfredo Morales. Will they meet tonight? Well, they will not meet at the start. Neither of them are in the starting 11. New York City's made 3 changes, Matty, and those changes are James Sands back in for Perea. Sands was suspended last game. Jovan Mijatovic is starting in place of Monsep Bakar, second start for Mijatovic. And Julian Fernandez, who hasn't played in 4 games, he is going to get back into the 11 in place of Augustine Ojeda. So an interesting trio up top. Hannes Wolf will join them. And Wolf, I think, will probably be moving to the left with Fernandez on the right and then Mijatovic running up the middle.
Yeah, I think from watching Fernandez, not only here with NYCFC, but back in Argentina as well, he much prefers playing on the right and cutting the inside onto his left foot. He's got an absolutely glorious left foot. But we said it before as well, the good thing about Fernandez is even at a young age, he has the ability to go both ways as well. Quite often, the first or second time he attacks the fullback, he'll go on the outside and take it onto his unfavoured right foot, which I like about him. I think he and Ojeda are going to switch quite a lot in terms of one will start, the other won't, because of their age, because of the fact that you get inconsistencies with young players.
Right.
So I think that is to be expected. Hannes Wolf is playing fantastically well right now, so I think it's understood that he will be playing. I think what you said a little bit earlier before you went into your triumvirate of rants about hamburgers, saunas and golf as well was that the last game they didn't play well. But for me, that's a positive. It's a positive that now you've got a team that can play badly and finds a way to win.
Yeah.
Any good team can play badly or play averagely and find a way to win. It's those good teams. When you're a bad team, sometimes like NYCFC at the beginning of the season, they play well and lose. So now for me, it's a positive. Of course, you want to play well in every single game, but ultimately it's a sport. All that really matters is whether you win or not. And they won. They found a way to win against New England Revolution, even on that surface that certainly didn't suit New York City FC.
He's Matty Lawrence. I'm Glenn Crooks. Live commentary coming up from Yankee Stadium. And there you see the Big Ball Orchard in the South Bronx. When you see me say that or put it out on social media, that was a guy named Art Rust Jr., who was a talk show host, a sports talk show host in New York on WABC radio or WOR. I actually can't remember, but I do remember listening to him every night. And although it was a different Yankee Stadium then, very nearby, still in the Bronx, and you've got warm-ups underway for the visitors. That's the San Jose Earthquakes, who are warming up to our right, and they will be wearing white uniforms tonight, white road kits, which Matty Lawrence I would say detests based on his reaction when he first saw them come out.
Yeah, I do. I don't like it. I don't like the all-white strip. I think Real Madrid can just about get away with it. I think that's about as far as it goes. But also, it's always unusual for me as well to see both teams wearing their away kits as well, as far as I'm aware. And NYCFC, they're playing in their away kit as well, aren't they? I just don't like. I don't understand it. I think the home team should always play in their home strip, and then the away team plays in whichever strip that doesn't clash with the home team's home kit. But, you know, that's just me being old school, I guess, Glenn.
Well, New York City set up to maybe win their 5th in a row. Their fourth consecutive win was also their 3rd straight on the road, which hadn't happened since 2019, and that was in New England last week. New York City started out strong. New England didn't get their first attempt on goal until the 25th minute. But a little bit later on, it was another save from Matt Freese, and he's come up with some good ones. But listen to Matty Lawrence's description of this one as it kept the game at 0-0.
Ball now on the right with Heel. With the left foot, whips it towards the near post, and a big save, Freese! Matt Freese had to dive to his right. Vrioni with a great redirection. Couldn't do any better. And Matt Freese, as he has done throughout the season, saving New York City again.
Well, this is absolutely top draw. Say that saves aren't always world class. This one was world class. This wasn't just a good save. This is world class. It's almost Gordon Banks-esque against Pele. It really is. This is quite remarkable from Matt Freese. And again, it's the pace coming off the pitch as well, which certainly helps out Freese. But boy, not only what does he do, he saves it, but then parries it out to the side. So the rebound he offers up is out really wide, and it's at a tight angle, so Barrero can't just tap it into an empty net.
So the great Matty Lawrence there pulling out Gordon Banks' save
niche reference
on the Pelé goal, and it's the 1970 World Cup,
which
England lost the match.
Yeah,
what was it, 2-1?
Yeah,
but despite that save.
I think it's 1-0. But yeah, I know.
But
Banks tipped it over the crossbar, so it's a little
unbelievable.
bit different. But it really did remind me of that, and I don't think that I give people enough praise at times. Cynical Matt,
well, the three things
that
stood out to me is that you said world class. I've never heard you say that in an MLS commentary before. The fact that you pulled that one out with Banks' save on Pelé, and but also recognizing that the artificial surface at Gillette, it's brand new. And I got a chance to walk on it before the game. You did not, but the artificial plastic was pretty long. You know, it's new. It wasn't all combed down yet. And the crushed rubber was very thick. So it was really heavy. Yeah. Tough on the dribblers, as we noticed throughout the game.
Yeah, it gripped the ball. It literally gripped the ball. The pellets did.
So it affected the pace maybe that it got to Freese, but then again, if he had overcommitted, if he had overdone it might have hit him in the wrist, and then the rebound come back. So he still did quite well with that.
Brilliant. And we talked about Sean Johnson at length that he was a great shot stopper, but quite often he'd offer up rebounds out in front of goal, and they would then just be tapped back into an empty net. It's the fact that he pushes it so wide as well. And look, I think we've bigged Matt Freese up an awful lot this season, but rightly so. I think also what we have to understand with goalkeepers is they are going to make a mistake at some point. He has kept NYCFC in games time and time again. So for me, I'm probably talking to myself, I can't be too judgmental or critical of him when the mistake comes, because a mistake will come because he's only human.
Matt Freese is human. He is also 25 years old. He's also 5th in Major League Soccer with a 1.07 goals against average. He's 3rd in the league in saves behind McCarthy and Stuver, a former New York City FC keeper. He's 7th in save percentage, 78.4, 3 shutouts, and he did get my vote for the MLS All-Star team because we see him game in and game out, and we know how many points he has saved for New York City FC. At this moment, we're being joined by SiriusXM FC. That's channel 157. Want to welcome them. I'm Glenn Crooks along with Matty Lawrence. We will be providing the live commentary. This is our normal NYCFC preview live. It's a live stream. You can look at us too if you go on YouTube or the Facebook or my Twitter at Glenn Crooks. But we will carry this into the pregame show proper with head coach Nick Cushing, presented by Ford, and then eventually the kickoff at 7:40 p.m. Eastern here in the Bronx from Yankee Stadium. Now, the game-winning goal last week, Matty, and totally against the run, but it was right after a substitution. It was Justin Hack who came in for Hannes Wolf. So you got the feeling that let's get out of here with a point. Let's get out of here with a point. And then moments later, it was this.
Tavon Gray, wonderful service, and Keith Parks scores! Keith Parks knocks the header to beat Ivicic, and the substitutes mobbing Keith Parks in the far corner, and it's right below the supporter section for New York City FC here at Gillette Stadium in the 82nd minute. Really out of nothing, but Tavon Gray, right after the substitution, with another quality service. He got the game-winning assist last week, and Tavon Gray, the potential game winner there. The headed finish by Keaton Parks.
The quality in delivery is absolutely top jaw. Who's picking up Keaton Parks? Nobody. Keaton Parks is 6'4". No one's picking him up. It's so simple. They switch off New England Revolution because it's just seconds after the substitution, Glenn. It's simple. A great cross, a good header.
All right, the description of Tavon Gray getting his second consecutive game-winning assist. First, it was the game winner against the Red Bulls.
Yep.
I almost forgot. That with Monsef
Too busy
Bakrar.
thinking about hamburgers and golf.
Monsef Bakrar scoring his first and only goal of the year. Bakrar not starting today. Jovan Mijatovic is getting his second start for New York City FC. And then Gray assisting Parks. Parks' second goal. Both were headed goals. The other one coming against Charlotte, the opening goal in a 2-1 win against Charlotte. So Keith Parks getting the goal. Tavon Gray getting the assist. And now New York City poised in the third position in the Eastern Conference of MLS to see what they can do against a Western Conference foe. Jovan Mijatovic in the starting 11. Before we get your thoughts on that, apparently he's the guy, and we're showing now, Mijatovic is holding on to Raquinho. So that's what the raccoon that New York City, they purchased a toy raccoon.
Yep.
I don't want to say stuffed. I think that would be inappropriate.
Yes,
it's not true either. It's just a toy raccoon. Furry.
I did come into the stadium with, well, I wasn't with him, but we arrived at the same time, and I can absolutely confirm that he was carrying Raquinho.
He also carried Raquinho on the road at New England.
Yeah.
So so apparently Mijatovic is the caretaker for Raquinho, of course, the raccoon that came on the field in the Philadelphia Union match at Subaru Park, and there was over a 3-minute delay, and it
got hit on the head by a garbage can at least twice.
Just thinking back, it was absolutely hysterical. Anyway, Mijatovic is getting but he's getting more minutes, so he's getting another chance. So what do you think? We've seen him briefly. He's had one other start, Matty, and that was against the Red Bulls. And really, that was the game Bakrar comes in as a sub and scores.
Look, he's had a tough introduction to MLS. We can't forget that he's very young. He's still only a teenager. He had the problems going back to Serbia, then got injured a little bit while playing for the national team. Then he had the visa problems in coming back. So I think he lost a little bit of fitness, certainly lost match sharpness. I don't think that you can expect too much from him just yet. Yes, I know they paid a lot of money for him, New York City FC. Yes, I know he's on pretty big money for a teenager, but he needs to bed himself into the game and to MLS slowly. What do I want to see from him? I want to see, first and foremost, I want to see him hold the ball up and be that link-up man, which I saw when he was playing for Red Star Belgrade. I know I didn't watch hundreds of games that he played for Red Star Belgrade, but I watched an awful lot of clips. He is Wayne Rooney-esque in terms of stature, Glenn. That doesn't mean I think he is Wayne Rooney, but similar in stature, carries the football in a similar manner. He's tough to knock off the ball, the same as Wayne Rooney. But the pace of the game in MLS, in North America, is a lot quicker than it was when he was playing for Red Star Belgrade. You could see it quite often. I thought he must be playing for Red Star Belgrade under 18s or youth team or second team when he was playing for the first team there. It's totally different. He has to get up to speed with the game, and it is going to take time. So hopefully he's going to bed straight in, Glenn, but I think it's not an impossibility for a young man, doesn't speak the language, different nutrition, completely different environment, and completely different standard of football as well.
So that's one of the stories. A new striker starting tonight, getting his second start, but still looking for his first New York City goal. The other story, and here's the question, and we actually broke the story on NYCFC Views Live last night, myself and Roberto Abramowitz. That's the weekly podcast that we do, and we had learned that Maxi Morales is going to be in the squad. Indeed, he is in the squad. Yeah. He's on the bench tonight. Will he play? I think that will be up to the circumstances of the game. I don't think it'll be a forced situation, but he's ready to go. And I think Nick Cushing, from what I've heard, is anxious to put him out today, if possible. And I think in the short term, Matty, the timing is good because Santi Rodriguez has played a lot of minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, nothing is going to be forced here. You've waited a long time to get Morales back into the squad. Right. You're not suddenly going to force it. He's not going to come on, I wouldn't have thought, at 1-1 with 10 minutes to go with the tackles flying in. If they're 2 or 3-0 up, New York City FC, or 2 or 3-0 down, there's a good chance he'll come on for 20 minutes. If he's on the bench, Glenn, Nick Cushing wants to use him, but he wants to use him sparingly and at the right time as well. He doesn't want to risk anything, that's for sure, for Maxi Morales, and put too much pressure on him as an individual or put too much pressure on that knee. But, maybe I'm being a little bit not critical here, but worrisome. I don't think there's any way in the world he would be there on the bench unless he was 100% ready to go.
Yeah. All-time assist leader for New York City FC, 69 games. The last time he played in a match, September the 5th, 2023, it was against Vancouver. That's when he tore his ACL. And remember, Matty, it was an interesting year for him. He was at Racing Club, where he had gone back home to his hometown club, where, he really had his start as a professional. And for whatever reason, it was a situation that didn't work out. So he got together with David Lee and then comes back into the fray and only plays 4 games for New York City.
As you know, I work a lot of Argentine games. So I worked a lot of Racing games that Maxi Morales was part of, but he was only part of them because he was sat on the bench. I probably worked 10 Racing games and saw Maxi Morales for half an hour or maybe 40 minutes. He didn't fit into Racing's style of play, in my opinion. And I thought, and I'm sure Maxi thought, that he was going back there to retire. I would have thought, have his final couple of years in Argentina with Racing. But it just didn't work out. And look, he's a born winner. He's hungry, and he knows that coming back to NYCFC would be a good fit for him. I don't think that he was going to suddenly go off to Slovenia or Serbia and try something new. He was either going to stay in Argentina or come back to NYCFC. And come back to NYCFC, I think we were all lucky enough for him to come back. But it's just very unfortunate that he suffered that cruciate ligament injury. I think for Maxi, Glenn, knowing older players and younger players who've suffered cruciate injuries, Maxi's lucky that he's 5'3" and weighs 85 pounds wet through. I think that
it has to be easier.
If he was 35, 36 and 200 pounds, and he's Virgil van Dijk at 37, 38, it might not have happened for him. So I do think without that stress and the strain through the ligament and through the joints as a whole, I think that has been beneficial for him.
He's 37 years old now, and his best season, and it was one of the best playmaking seasons in MLS history, was 2019 when New York City won the Eastern Conference regular season title. He had 20 assists. That tied Sasha Kljestan for second all-time single-season MLS, only behind Carlos Valderrama, who had 26 assists back in 2000 for Tampa Bay. So he has been a playmaker extraordinaire during the course of his career, but that was certainly his shining season in 2019, and he needed more breaks as he got older too. Now he's going to be the one to give Santi Rodriguez some minutes off.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there is absolutely no certainty that Maxi comes back as the player he was. That is for certain. I mean, the player that he was before the cruciate injury ligament against Vancouver. I don't mean massive 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But you're right. I think he's going to be used sparingly because he's coming back from injury, but also used sparingly because he is 37 years of age. But equally, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. Santi Rodriguez is going to need a break at some point. That is for certain. Luckily, there is one coming up. There is a couple of weeks off. I think it's tonight the game, and then not until the 14th against Columbus. Yep. So there is a little bit of a break. And you would think that Nick Cushing will treat certain players differently. If you've played nearly every game, you might be able to go away to Miami and sit on the beach for 3 or 4 days and recover. If you haven't played many minutes, you're going to be in every day. Over that 12-day break, you'll be in every day training. Just my thoughts and my knowledge of having played, professional football with older players and with younger players.
And Santi, 5 goals, 4 assists on the year. He had gone 3 consecutive games with a goal or an assist, which was halted last week at New England. 2 other times this season, he's had a goal or an assist in back-to-back games. So he's been a consistent performer, especially during this stretch where New York City has 1 loss in 10. They've won 7 of their last 8. They've won 4 consecutive games. And for San Jose, their road record, all-time here in the series, 0-4. This is remarkable, and we'll go to break right after this. San Jose has won just two of its last 48 road matches against Eastern Conference teams. That dates back to May of 2012.
You're setting it up nicely here.
2 wins, 35 losses, and 11 draws. That is remarkable. Okay, we're going to pause here for a moment. This will conclude NYCFC pregame live here from Yankee Stadium. For those listening on SiriusXM FC, we're going to pause a few minutes, and then we're going to go right into our introduction of our live commentary at 7:15 Eastern Time, featuring a one-on-one interview with Nick Cushing, the head coach for New York City FC, presented by Ford. So for Matty Lawrence, I'm Glenn Crooks. Enjoy the game, everybody.